Okay, in this video we're going to take a look at geometric series. So similar to an arithmetic series compared to an arithmetic sequence, geometric series, so it's when you add up the terms of a geometric sequence. So for example, I've got 2 and I double it, so my R value in this case will be 2 and my A value will be 2, so I get 2 and then I get 4 and then I get 8 and then I get 16 and I keep going up to some number. We could call that the last term or the T sub n term if we knew how many terms there were. And that sequence of 2, 4, 8, 16 now gets added up and turned into a series. Well, there are formulas for how we go about finding the sum. One formula is that the sum of those n terms is the first term times 1 minus the r value to the power of n over 1 minus r. Of course, if you multiply this a value in, a gives us a minus ar to the n over 1 minus r. And this term here, a times r to the n, that's actually the last term. So this can be rewritten as r times the last term. So part of this is the last term over 1 minus r. So these together are the formulas that are most likely to help us. These two here are essentially the same, just with the a in, and that's good if we know a and r and n, and then this one we need to know a and r and the last term. We don't necessarily need, or we don't need n in that last term, the last formula. So let's go back to the example that I had and see if we can apply these formulas to it. And in this case, as I said, I know my a and I know my r and I know my L, so let's just use this last formula. The sum of those n terms, I don't even know how many terms there are, I don't need to know my n, is 2 minus 2 times 262,144, all divided by 1 minus 2. And just grab a calculator. This doesn't take too long to calculate, but you get 524,286. Let's take a look at another example of this. Find the sum of the first 7 terms of 1 plus 3 plus 9 plus on and on and on. So I'm finding sum of 7. And again, I know my a value is 1. I can see my r value is multiplying by 3. So my r value is 3. And I know that I have 7 terms. So I want to use a formula that's got these. I don't want this last formula, the one that has the last term in it. So I can use either of these first two. I'll use the very first one. So 1 minus the r value, which is 3 to the power of 7 over 1 minus 3. And so 1 times anything, that doesn't really matter. 1 minus and 3 to the 7th, that's a pretty big number. I think it's 2187. And this is minus 2, so you get negative 2,186 over negative 2, which is 1,093. Now, there's your sum of your first 7 terms. Really, with 7 terms, it wouldn't have been too hard to just on a calculator do 1 plus 3 plus 9 plus 27 plus 81. There's 5 terms plus 243 plus 729, and just hit enter, and we would have got that as well. So I just want you to see the connection between these two things, that sometimes just doing it from almost like a definition or a list approach is just as fast as using one of these equations. But we'll get some practice in class and we'll see you there.